See, the show started. What's up? What's up? Yeah. Look at that. I love that. I love these. Okay, it is Friday, October 15th, 2021. This show happens each and every weekday in the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker studio. The Eric Zane Show
Hi, this is Kate, otherwise known as the Duchess of New Jersey.
Duchess of New Jersey.
When I'm not busy hanging out at the beach, telling people off, or watching someone pump gas for me,
Oh, getting mad
I
at
listen
Eric.
to the Eric Zane Show podcast.
Yeah, it's
And
riveting.
now I'd like to introduce the star of the show, Eric Zane. It's riveting.
Okay, it's a noisy audio clip. Got to redo that one. Okay, welcome to you. Welcome to the Eric Zane Show podcast. 678th time that I have started this thing, originating right here. It is a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures, Monday through Friday. Approaching nearly 20 hours of material, originating like live, originating originally. Wait, what? Just a lot going on this week. I did a bonus podcast with Don Kern, world record holder from the Metro Health Grand Rapids Marathon. I'm recording today at 2 p.m. with Carl from Who Are These Podcasts. We are going to roast Dave and Chuck the Freak. Radio show in Detroit, Michigan. And I don't want to say much of anything about the roasting that will take place about this highly successful show, which features Andy Green, who I think is probably, he's not really in the crosshairs when I discuss the show. Andy Green is actually pretty damn funny. It's Dave and Chuck and Lisa, I think is her name, who's on that show. And it just is horrible. Look, I've already said something about it. It's just one of the worst things I've ever heard in my life. This is the third time I've been on Who Are These Podcasts. And I've had to review two other shows that were very bad. But this is a radio show that we're reviewing, as we do during Jocktober. And it was the most mentally taxing thing I've had to endure when it comes to this show. All right. So there you go. I might have Carl in here if he can get his ass up today. I reached out to him kind of to promote that show, which will be available for download on Sunday. All right. Now, plenty to get into today. You see on the title of this podcast, if you're looking at the live stream, it says Rogan v. Sanjay Gupta. He is the doctor / talking head. You've been hearing him and seeing him for years. He's on CNN, and he is in front of Joe Rogan. And Rogan made him squirm. Oh, no. Rogan's big thing was that when CNN did the story about Rogan getting sick, they said that Rogan, it's in the clip, took horse dewormer, and that's not what he did. And so he says to Gupta, he goes, "How do you feel working for an organization that lied?" And he's trying to get out of it, and he's just, oh God, it was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. Woo! So I'll get to that in a little bit. I'm saving that one. It's something to look forward to. It'll be actually like one of the last things we do. So if you're like, well, where is it? Get to it. Get to it. Yeah, I am gonna save it. Paul writes, it was beautiful. It was beautiful because I think it was the precision and how you keep seeing Gupta just trying to inch his way away from it. And Rogan comes, no, hold on a minute, and pulls him back in. It was spectacular. One of the best things I've seen in a long time. I'm not even talking about the. I'm only talking about the meticulousness at which he does that. I still think that it's the wrong thing to do to take ivermectin as opposed to getting the vaccine. And I think he was stupid in talking about it the way he did, because most morons, first of all, ivermectin, it's there is no evidence that shit does anything to anyone when it comes to fighting COVID. None. Now, I know you've got your, what are those called? PubMed articles, whatever the fuck it is, those stupid things that mean nothing to me. So don't send them. But when you just blurt out ivermectin, every idiot that lives in every small burg wearing a MAGA hat is going to put a horse paste in their body and probably die, or they'll take the doctor prescribed version of it for human consumption and take way too much, because that medicine is supposed to be consumed very, very, very minute doses. So you're getting people that get sick from overdosing on it and possibly dying. So that's how I feel about that. So he's still a piece of shit because he's a fucking moron and he's perpetuating bullshit cures for it. But what he did to Gupta was fantastic. Oh my God, I loved it. It was absolutely great. So Aram says, can you share the link to the Creep Off podcast episode? Yeah, absolutely. I'll leave that in the show notes of this audio podcast. I don't want to grab it right this second. But that was last week. I appeared on that show with Vinny, Paulino, and Carl. It was awesome. And then I got ripped off, because then the audience is supposed to vote as to who has the best creep. And I was winning that vote. And then through some weird glitch in the matrix, I ended up losing that vote. So I have been asked to be back on the Creep Off again coming up Monday. So I'm going to make another appearance on that show on Monday. All right. As I sit here, you can't see O'Neill, but he's in a chair right now. And he is looking at me and he's grunting. He's going, oh. So you can't see him, you can't hear him, but he's looking at me and his ears are up with his beagle face. His beagles, and he's going, oh. And while I do that right now, his head's tilting. He's like, wait, are you talking to me? What, huh? So I think he wants to go out. No, I can't. Dude, Mom is not here. I can't help you. Did you take a dump this morning? So just be warned, if he really starts to bug me, that means he's got to go, take a dump, and that might be a problem. So I'm just letting you know ahead of time that if you're enjoying the live stream, there'll be an intermission for me to take this stupid dog out. I'm sorry, you're not stupid to go poo. Come on, just go to sleep. Hold it. It'll be fine. If you can just give me a break for a little while here. What do you think? No? Yes? Oh, God. I hate it when he's looking at me. He's looking at me going, "Oh, let me out, buckhead. I gotta take a dump." Jason says he's working up a greaser. Oh, no. He is not relaxed at all. Normally, he's sound asleep right now. Now he's wandering over here. Dude, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to just relax. Just lay down, please. Can you go to sleep? There's always an intermission. Kill two birds with one stone. Go pee at the same time. All right, he's laying down. Hope he takes it easy. All right. As you know, the show is available on many spots. Live stream, facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page. Follow me on Facebook. Like the page. It's brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. Thanks to the audience on Twitch. On Twitter, at Eric Zane Show on Twitter. Brought to you by Blue Frost IT. And then YouTube, brought to you by Frank Fuss, My Policy Shop Insurance. Please subscribe to the channel, bell notification, thumbs up button. Off you go. Enjoying the show live each and every morning at about the same time. All right. Hold on a second. Let me reach out to Carl here. Are you down for a 9 a.m. appearance this morning? Question mark. I'll send you the link. Period. However, I know you're busy getting ready for the show. ... So if you cannot, I understand. Pretty standard. He's used to it. Where hey, I need you on my show. Like right before. I don't even plan it ahead of time. I'm just minutes before. I'm going to send you a link. All right. So, and as well, of course, wherever you download audio podcasts, Eric Zane Show, or on my website, ericzaneshow.com. You can subscribe to the audio podcast there. Thank you very much if you've done that in advance. If you don't even listen to the audio podcast, that's okay. I would really like it if you did subscribe, though, please. No matter how you consume the show, if you would subscribe to the other options, that would be great, too. That I get internet points for all that stuff. And the live stream's moving to Twitch. I've told you in the past, one place to get the Twitch stream, twitch.com/Eric Zane. Forget that. Unbookmark that. Twitch.com/Eric Zane Live. That's what you do. Go there and follow that page. That's all you have to do. Still in the process of working out the setting up the page. It is a bit of a job, but I have two people that work on it for me. Live stream 9 a.m. Okay. Send that off to Carl. And we are in business. So that'll be happening. I don't know when exactly. I imagine a matter of weeks. We'll have that all secured and ready to go. But the show is going to look nice. It's going to be a better appearance. I'm going to have many different options. In fact, I won't have to rely on the signs behind me to get the messages out from for the sponsors. I'm actually going to have it on the screen, superimposed. Going to be a nice background, very dynamic. A lot of different options on that stream on Twitch. So I'm looking forward to that. Twitch.com/Eric Zane Live. Yesterday, I told you about Andrew and Brian in the gym. These two guys, they're, really, really in shape. Strong dudes every day, lifting a ton of weights. And there's like a joke between them and me where my feeble face will show up and say, all right, guys, it's time for me to teach you a thing or two about lifting weights. I mean, these guys are, I mean, seriously, they are strong, strong individuals. They're the ones I told you about who really love the story of Jimmy, the Vietnam vet with the low-hanging ball sack who helped me break into my locker while nude, standing behind me and bleeding all over me. Told that story yesterday. It's a classic. Told it before many times. They love that story. And this all happened because they had said to me, they go, hey, you still doing a podcast? And I go, yeah, in fact, I'm going to mention you. So yesterday I mentioned I did do that. And then I told that story. And they, as I walked into the gym yesterday, the following day, I see Brian. I go, Brian, I talked about you. I told the story of Jimmy. And I talked about you. And I'm going to send you the audio podcast. I said, give me your phone number. And I sent him right there. I sent it to him. And then as I'm doing that, Andrew walks in to join the workout. He just walks into the Y. And I hear him laughing. Oh, he actually saw it and listened to it. He goes, oh my God. So it's all like coming together right there. He caught everything about that. And so he's like, dude, you got to hear this. Holy shit. Oh my God. He's doing an impression of Jimmy with the low hanging balls. And when I was holding the truck nuts and up to my waist there or whatever, and doing my impersonation of Jimmy. So after filling that, this whole dynamic, now Brian is like, oh God, well now I got to hear it right now. So then I'm lifting weights, and from across the gym on the gym floor at the YMCA, I hear my voice, and they're actually watching the Facebook live stream playback when that whole moment was going on. And so I'm dropping F-bombs, and these guys don't give a shit. They're listening to it wide open in the gym. And I'm like, oh, dude. So that was weird to be lifting weights, hearing yourself while two meatheads are watching your show, laughing their ass off. And then I said to him, I go, I got you. You guys are mine now. This is going to be part of your daily routine. They go, oh, yeah, for sure, man. We're hooked. So welcome to Andrew and Brian, the meat-headed gym rats from the YMCA. Moving on. This morning, Bleeding Heart Brian pissed me off bad. Ugh. So I made the argument yesterday when I was discussing my sponsor, Prince Arming. You should carry a pistol concealed in the unlikely event that some maniac loses his mind at the grocery store or shows up with a bow and arrow and starts shooting people like what happened in Norway this week. And, I realize that is a very rare thing, but let's just say something like that happens. What are you going to do? Run? Call the police? Hide? It would be a fantastic thing if you had a pistol. That's it. That's all I said. And I've used the term sheepdogs because that's the term that's used for people who run towards danger. Some of you are. Okay? Asshole, while he's driving on the overnight, sends me this bit of snark. I wake up. I grab my phone first thing every morning. What's going on in the world? I see the Dodgers beat the Giants. I see the fucking Red Wings blew it, which I'm going to talk about in a second. That was fucking horrible. And then, so I was pissed off because of that. And then I see Dick Face's text. Stop pretending you're going to be some savior to a mass shooting or other tragic event. Oh, God, it's pissing me off all over again. A sidearm for personal protection, yes. To be a sheepdog that stops the bad guy, it just doesn't happen like you want it to. Well, I don't want it to, asshole. I don't sit there and say, I hope a mass shooting happens so that I can run in, you fucking dick. Oh, I apologize for what I wrote, which I'm about to reveal right now. But now I feel like I shouldn't have. I feel like I should have said, fuck you again. Yeah, I don't sit there and want a mass shooting to happen, you stupid son of a bitch. I wrote, fuck off, Brian. I'm not even kidding. He wrote blah, blah, blah. And then he wrote sheepdogs only exist in your fantasy world. So I'm like fantasizing that I'm going to go in and shoot bad guys. When you're getting your rocks off, firing your BB gun. Like, you motherfucker. And then he wrote, you're a moody bitch this morning. And then I always get remorse. Why do I do that? Now I wish I hadn't. I wrote, sorry, I just woke up. I didn't mean that. Now I'm going the other way. No, I did mean that, you fuck. And then he writes, what was that about you not overreacting yesterday? So now he's fucking doubling down. I'm like, I don't know. Shut up. Oh, that pissed me off bad. Oh. Yeah, so there you go. That's welcome to my world. I got stupid fucking Dirk sending me fake studies about ivermectin on one hand. And then I got a piece of shit Brian sending me shit texts like that. Fucking A. The mystery of who attached the truck nuts to my car deepens. I have no idea who that was. All I know is somebody walked onto my property and hung those truck nuts over my head onto the back of my bumper and put a magnet on the bumper that said driver has huge testicles. While I was driving to the YMCA, I couldn't figure out why people were laughing at me as I drove the 6 miles from my house to the YMCA on Wednesday. I just assumed this is a Pellerito thing. Let's see here. But the plot kind of thickens today. Because Mike wrote in, for the record, I did not truck nut you. This might be a Dean thing? Could this be a Dean thing? I don't know. I think didn't he already deny it? I don't think anybody's going to claim responsibility on this. So yes. All right. Pellerito says he had nothing to do with it. All right. Still funny. Last night, opening night for the Red Wings, hosting the Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning. I was doing the podcast with Ben, the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast, which featured John Gismingo, donut, fat. He was very fun. It was good to see him on there. By the way, I think the word on the street is, I think he said something about an Eric Zane soundboard. And he says that he's like establishing a bunch of different clips of me. He writes that if you're doing that, Pellerito has a huge library of my sound if you want it. And then you won't have to search out anything to add. He says he already has it all. So I can put you two in contact with each other. While doing that show, everybody lost their mind because Larkin got a goal early. So it's 1-0 Red Wings. Then it's 2-0. Then it's 3-0. The Red Wings are rolling. Okay. Then it was 3-1. And then there was a moment where Larkin, the captain, he got checked from behind. And then after he got hit, it kind of rattled his cage a little bit as he was smashed into the boards. He got up and slugged the guy in the face who did it to him. He got a match penalty, 5 and a match. So he's out of the game. But the Lightning got 2 minor penalties during the skirmish. So that means it's 4-on-3 Red Wings. They score again. They go up 4-1. So then it is 4-on-4. Actually, after all the penalties expired for the Lightning, it was 5-on-4 for 5 minutes. And fucking Stamkos scores 2 goals during the major. Because, once you score a goal during a major, you still play a man down. So it's 4-3, just like that. Bertuzzi ends up getting a hat trick. Actually, he scores 4 goals in the game. And with 6 minutes to go, the Red Wings are up 6-3. 6 minutes to go in the third period. Red Wings defense let their goalie hang out to dry all fucking game long. And you can't do that against Tampa. Tampa scores 3 goals in 6 minutes. Son of a bitch! They tie it. It goes to overtime. 3-on-3 in the overtime. Detroit doesn't even touch the puck in the overtime. Tampa fucking scores 7-6. Son of a bitch. Shut up, Dirk. Unbelievable. That was... you know what? That's on Larkin. Honestly, you can't retaliate. You're the captain of the team. You got to be smart about these things. My God. Sorry. Nick says, all of this is gibberish to me. Well, you should fucking pay attention. You should get on board, man. Dirk says, I haven't sent you shit, drama queen. Oh, dude, come on. You mean recently? Oh, I do recall when you were busy sending me nonstop article after article where I then quietly and quickly dismantled you with every single one of them and hurt your feelings. And then suddenly you went silent. I'm muting you, Eric Zane. Shut up. Tyler says, what's up with Tampa? They were stomped by Pittsburgh Tuesday and barely beat a young rebuilding Red Wings team. Well, who knows? Who cares? They've won 2 Stanley Cups. Chris writes, it was a great game. Well, it might have been fun to watch, but there was a lot wrong with that game. Come on. Speaking of hockey, tonight, I will be at the local super spreader event. No restrictions whatsoever. Michigan has turned into the great bastion of COVID. Did you know in the state of Michigan right now, there is an 11% transmission rate? So roughly, if there's, 11,000 people packed into a building for extended time with an 11% transmission rate. Oh my God, what the fuck are we doing? Why do we not have it that you have to be vaccinated and you have to show proof here in the great state of Michigan? Why? We were doing so well. So everybody's going to get sick tonight. Bring a mask. Holy crap. I will be ringside, back to my original job of doing PA. I'm very excited to at least do that, but it is a little strange. I think it's 580 some days since we've gotten together in that capacity. It will be a sold-out crowd. Ton of people there. And listen to this story. One of the Red Wings prospects is Jonathan Berggren. Thank you to a couple people sent this along. And I don't always thank people when I get the stories, but this one especially it's important to thank Jason Schaefer. I think he got butthurt the other day because he didn't get credit. I didn't get credit. You didn't thank me for sending your story along. Jason and Mike Ball sent it along. Berggren is he's 20, maybe 21. And he's 21. He's fresh off the boat from Sweden. He doesn't know where the hell he is. New town. Him and his girlfriend. At least he's got her. Goes through camp with the Red Wings. Red Wings say, sorry, you still need some seasoning. We're sending you to Grand Rapids. And Jonathan Berggren's a stud. He's going to be playing in the NHL before too long. The cupboard is full for the Red Wings. They have so many so many talented young people in their organization. Berggren is one of them. The poor guy, they say to him, all right, man, you're going to Grand Rapids, just 2 hours down the road. You can't miss it. Things got off the rails, though. He speaks English as a second language, obviously. He showed up in the wrong Grand Rapids. From Berggren. From the article about him. Berggren says that he packed the rental car together with his girlfriend Tildy before they rolled south. She told me to enter the arena's address in the GPS, but I could not find it. We only enter Grand Rapids, so we can apply for it when we arrive. I said, it said Grand Rapids OH, and I had never heard it before. But wow, there's probably only one Grand Rapids in the United States, I thought. And this one was 2 hours from Detroit, and they told me it would take about 2 hours from Detroit. According to Winging It Motown, Grand Rapids, Ohio is just 2 hours from Detroit, so it's not terribly outlandish to think that a 21-year-old Swede who isn't driving in the U.S. to get mixed up. But when Berggren and his girlfriend arrived in Ohio, that's when things get funny. So it felt damn nice when they were only 20 minutes left, but still odd in some way. I've read about Grand Rapids, and it's supposed to be pretty big, but this looks like Village. When will the city come? Once we entered Grand Rapids, we were met by farmers as well. We checked it out, and there are only 700 people living in that small cave. That is fantastic. Yeah, so the guy went to the wrong place, and then he's like, oh, no, I've done it. This is ridiculous. So Berggren had to get in the car and head all the way to this Grand Rapids. Welcome to Hockeytown West, not Hockeytown South in Ohio. All right. Thanks to each and every one of you for joining this live and joining it in the pre-recorded version that is available to download. And my goodness, so happy that you are all here. And as always, keep in mind that the Patreon bonus podcast happens after this one. A Friday edition of the Patreon bonus podcast will be happening not too long after I get done with this one. I got to kind of regroup, figure out what I'm talking about, and then boom, I'll let you know on Patreon when I'm about to go live. And then off we go. So basically, if you listen to this show and then maybe you're like, oh, God, man, I got a lot of hours in the day left. I don't know what the hell else to listen to. You might want to consider the Patreon because I put about 15 hours of material up every single week on there. It includes the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast, which we got done yesterday, and I have to post that still. The Lost Zane recordings, got to post that still today. Not to mention the Zane Asylum, my 2-hour music-driven radio show on Northern Michigan's Q100. The Patreon bonus podcast, which is more of this. And then the Lost Zane recordings, full 3-hour radio shows from my days at 107.3 WBBL. Good news, O'Neill is asleep. Thank God. Hope he doesn't have to poop. That'd be incredibly uncomfortable to try to sleep while you have to poop. He's a dog. He's used to it. Hang on. All right. The open and the live stream of this show brought to you this time around by Horizon Hydroponics. If you grow anything, go to HORIZEN hydroponics.com. So if you're growing flowers, vegetables, probably not, or cannabis, probably, this is who you need to make sure that you have a bountiful harvest. HORIZEN hydroponics.com. You can order from anywhere in the U.S. and have it delivered for free if the order is over $250 or more. You can also order online and pick it up if you're in the area. That way you save the shipping cost. That's fine. They got stores in Grand Rapids Byron Center, Kalamazoo, and Lansing. Damn it. Hang on. Sorry. All right. And if you use the coupon code Zane Show at checkout, it'll save you 10%. Love that. In fact, I'll be heading over there very soon to do another edition of Growers 101 with John and his handlebar mustache from Horizon Hydroponics. All right, you've got a trusted source for insurance. Gone are the days when you just have to figure out what you're buying on your own, and you're dealing with somebody from some big, gigantic company that spends way too much money on advertising. I have a easier way that's going to save you a lot of time and a lot of money. It is My Policy Shop Insurance. Frank Fuss is a licensed independent insurance agent / broker. You call him 616-914-4070. Call or text 616-914-4070. And he's going to get you into the right policy for you, whether it be a Medicare policy with a supplemental policy so that you have complete coverage, whether it be through your employer's insurance. He can give you all the advice you need. You're buying it on the marketplace, Obamacare, like I do. He takes care of everything. You just say, hey, it's time to renew. What do I do? And he says, don't worry about it. I'll do it. And all of this is free, okay? No matter where you are in the U.S., call Frank. He'll help you out. If he's in a state, if you're calling from a state or reaching out from a state that he's not licensed in, he'll put you in touch with the right person. Is everything at his disposal. Every single one of you should be utilizing his expertise. 616-914-4070. Healthcare, health insurance, life insurance, dental, Medicare, Obamacare, car, whatever it is. Buyinsurancehere.com is the website you want to go to. You can fill out the form or just call them or text them. 616-914-4070. And then we got comedy at fullhousecomedy.com. If you want to go see a show, go to fullhousecomedy.com. Hit events locally in West Michigan and buy your tickets. Sam M is in the house. Let's see here. Now, first of all, Dirk says, you didn't dismantle shit. Oh, and PubMed is where providers post their findings so they can be compared. That's how science works. You're full of shit. That is a search engine. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, as usual. Sam M says, not giving a shit about the flu like every other year, pussy. He refers to me. And then he says, dude's scared of the Wu flu despite being like 30 times more likely to die in his car on the way to the super spreader event. So this show is not immune to idiots. I've made no bones about it. There are a number of brain dead invalids who listen to this show. Okay. And we're all on the same page here. You're a jackass. I'm right. You're going to win a Herman Cain Award, and I'm going to put a hand grenade in your coffin. Sam follows up with, I get it, though. He still trusts the news because he's been used to trusting it for decades. Yeah, you assume a lot about me. I trust my physician, stupid shit. Ask your doctor. Run it by your doctor, all the stupid shit you just said, and he's going to smack you with his big dick right in the face. Jackass. All right. I also see a discussion by the motorcycle riders. Nick and Chris, apparently you're going to go ride today, boys. Yes. I should have rode my motorcycle in today. It's so warm out this morning, but I didn't want to miss the show. Oh, thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. Sam does not trust his doc. He says, oh, you mean the guy who gets paid by the drug companies to push pills? All right, let me ask you something, asshole. So if you break your arm, are you going to go to the doctor? Yes. Why? Well, he's got to be pushing something, right? Why do you even go? Different topic. Aram writes, why do you want the passive safety on your carry pistol? Just another thing to do in order to save everyone? Not sure what he means by that. Chris says, my brother's doctor prescribed ivermectin. Well, yeah, there you go. Occasionally, a few moron doctors do fall through the cracks, but if your brother's following the advice of an idiot doctor prescribing ivermectin, well, then knock yourselves out. It doesn't work. Everybody knows that. That is an absolute disaster. It does nothing. All right. John writes, terrible analogies are terrible. Well, thank you. I'm glad you agree with me. Where have you been? All right. Woo! We are having a time today. All right. How'd you like to be 99 years old and nailing a hole-in-one? This happened in New Zealand. All right, here you go. We can check this out together, and you can see for yourself what is going on here. This is one of my favorite stories. Now, we got to pay attention here. Again, 99-year-old guy hanging out with his bro buddies at some golf course, and it's like a 140-yard hole, and he crushes it and sinks it. But there was a problem because he was really impatient, this guy, apparently, the old-timer, when he fired it, because he had another group that were also friends and playing ahead of him. They were taking too fucking long, so he just unloaded the shot.
Competing on the golf course aged 99 is an achievement in itself. But tonight we want to introduce you to a remarkable near centenarian who's just completed a stunning feat most players can only dream of. Hugh Brown is the toast of Indooroopilly Golf Club after a sublime hole-in-one that came 61 years after his first ace.
I'm about to putt. We're all here. He shouldn't have hit.
Meet John. He's about to reenact Friday's drama at Indooroopilly
I'll show you.
when Hugh's ball rolled onto his green.
Came gently rolling down the hill into the hole while I was standing there.
What did you think?
I came up
All right.
and they were just skipping.
That's the guy. Hugh. He's old. He can't talk. And you know what else he can't do? He can't wipe his face. He has the biggest, it's so gross, the biggest accumulation of white spit jizz flying out of the corner of his mouth. It's not those little tiny balls. It's like a huge streak of spit jizz. Oh, my God.
Gesticulating and going on. And I thought, Jesus, they're annoyed because I hit up on them.
If you're not a golfer, let us explain. It's not good etiquette to hit up on other groups. But, you see, Hugh is just 2 months shy of his 100th birthday. He doesn't usually whack it that far.
He hits it. He hits it pretty well. I have to admit, for 99 years old, to let it rip like that. If it wasn't for the spitballs, I would like them, but it's horrible.
Hole Blue 5 is 140 metres long.
I said, where's my ball? It's in the hole. I said,
It was indeed a hole-in-one by what's thought to be the oldest Australian golfer to ever achieve the feat. His mates won a drink, although this round was much cheaper than when Hugh last showed at the bar in 1960.
I think it cost me £15,
I'm getting sick. Look at this.
which was a lot of money in those days.
No need for the wallet today as Hugh returned to Blue 5.
That's the end of that one.
He lost the ball and this time needed the putter for a triple bogey 6. But over 18 holes, the 99-year-old again beat his mates.
Thanks, Hugh. Well done again.
The self-proclaimed old and bold members who play 3 times a week.
Sometimes you strike a federal catch.
Jonathan Upton, 9 News.
Congrats on the hole-in-one. Seriously, if you're listening to the audio podcast, it's very important that you need to go to the show notes and click on that story. Adam says he's a cannibal. Reginald writes, they need to treat this man's rabies. And looks pretty good for 99, says Jason. Yeah, but it's fucking horrible. That was gross. The amount of secretions coming out of that guy's face, it was really, really rough. All right. Sam still crying. Many, many more people are dying because of pharmaceuticals than the Wu flu. Shut up. Just shut up. One problem at a time. You're the problem. Ugh. All right. Brett Favre is in a ton of shit. Oh, my God. This one is pretty interesting here. Brett Favre. Boy, this is really remarkable that this is all coming out. I saw how an auditor is demanding that he return $828,000 in, quote, illegally spent welfare funds. Wait, what? Favre, who's kind of a dipshit, so you guys probably like him, has to give this money back. Money that should have gone to needy families. Mississippi State Auditor Shad White said in a statement this week, he received $1.1 million in funds from two nonprofits whose founders have since been indicted on state and federal charges for their alleged role in the largest embezzlement scheme in state of Mississippi history. Now, okay, first of all, I think Favre is kind of a degenerate from what I can gather. And I'm basing this on the size of his nose. And because he's a spokesperson for one of these casino operations. So I think he's a degenerate gambler, and his nose is big, gigantic, bulbous at the end and red. And that's the sign of an alcoholic. So I think he drinks way too fucking much. And the impression I get is that he's penniless. Okay. And stupid as hell. He did a cameo for some white supremacy group because they told him to use a bunch of coded language, and the dumbass fell for it on Cameo and sitting there. And Favre's an idiot, so coded, it could have been saying that they're going to lynch somebody, and he was probably supporting it because he's such a dumbass. So it doesn't surprise me at all. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if Favre was involved in this scheme but didn't know he was involved in a scheme. Like, he's that dumb. I think Brett Favre is a fucking fool. So anyway, the state said that Favre accepted the cash for speaking engagements that he never attended. So it's kind of like a mob no-show job, I guess, huh? I've heard this story before, but I think it's kind of continued to progress. That he attended for an organization called Families First for Mississippi. And that's a scam. It is a nonprofit that was made to scam people. Favre says, I didn't know. He didn't know that the funds were illegal when he accepted them. So apparently the organization collected a bunch of cash from unsuspecting victims, who then Favre would show up for the speaking engagement and use his name to try to get people to give more money, as far as I can understand. I don't know. Months after news of the scandal first broke last year, yeah, that's right, I was talking about last year, the auditor announced in May of 2020 that Favre had returned a portion of the funds. The state said they believed at the time that Favre was acting in, quote, good faith, and that they had seen no records indicating Favre knew that the program that served as the source for the money he was paid was in fact a scam. However, the tide has turned on old Brett. saying that the recipients of the misspent temporary assistance for needy family funds, including Favre and Favre Enterprises, must repay the money within 30 days or face a civil lawsuit. So he gave a little bit of it back, but didn't give a lot of it back. So they're like, hey, you still owe us like over $800,000. That money was obtained illegally. You must give that back to the state, and then we do with it what we will. I don't know. I'm sure. I'm guessing they would donate it to the appropriate organizations, but this is a complete scam. But I can promise you that fucker spent all the money on whatever. This afternoon, the story was, it's a couple of days old. Mississippi Today's Anna Wolf reported that the letter Favre received from the state said that the illegal expenditures and unlawful dispositions were made when you knew or had reason to know the exercise of reasonable diligence that the expenditures were illegal and or the dispositions were unlawful. Today, the state cited the completion of a federal forensic audit of the Mississippi Department of Human Services as the impetus for the demand letters. MDHS's former executive director, John Davis, is awaiting trial on embezzlement charges. So they need money from Brett Favre. Others who they need money from. Former WWE wrestler Ted DiBiase Sr., known as the $1 Million Man. They released a whole list of famous people in and around the area in the state of Mississippi who are scamming the state. They said DiBiase owes $722,000 that he was paid from an organization that obtained money through unscrupulous means. His son, Ted DiBiase Jr., he owes $3.9 million. So basically, I guess the way they make money in Mississippi is go to anybody who is reasonably famous or was reasonably famous and basically say, hey, how'd you get all your money? And then they find out that they were involved in some scam, and then they have to pay the money back. The entire DiBiase family owes. It's Brett Favre, Ted DiBiase Sr., and his two kids. Each owe millions of dollars. Oh, my God. So we'll see about this. If Favre pays it back, I'm guessing he doesn't have two nickels to rub together. He just seems to me to be the type that is completely broke. Reginald writes, everybody has a price. The one and a legendary Ted DiBiase. All right. We got a joke about what did Favre do? More dick pics? Common ground, Zane. Favre is a dick, writes Sam M. This person writes, Zane talking about nose sizes, pot calling the kettle black. Yeah, but I didn't get mine. The good Lord gave me mine. He didn't have a big nose, Brett Favre. He drank himself into a Jimmy Durante nose. Okay? Kyle wrote, geez, even Vince Neil isn't that dumb. All right. Dean also, okay, there's Dean's comment. James says, see you Sunday at paintball. Who are you coming with? O'Neill, what's up, buddy? Oh, my God, I feel so bad for this dog. They were speaking fees, but he never actually was speaking. He absolutely knew it was a scam, says Chris. What up, buddy? I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. All right. I want to let this dog out, but I can't because I'm in the middle of this podcast. And Carl's going to be joining me in like a minute. Can you wait just another couple? I feel so terrible. I can't even concentrate. You can just go on the carpet if you want. No, don't do that. All right. Affordable Limousine says they want you for if you want to drive. If you have a experience, if you're an experienced driver with a Class B license with passenger endorsements, it's time to sign up at buscareers.com. Buscareers.com. Fill out the form, and you could be driving before you know it, making about twice as much money as what you're making doing whatever you're doing right now. Driving a dump truck, a cement mixer, brats on a school bus, whatever it may be. Drive for affordable limousine. They're expanding their number of drivers. They want to triple the size of what's out on the road right now. Expanding the business. Buscareers.com. Go there, fill out the form, and see where that takes you. Okay? There you go. All right. I am going to let the dog out. Okay. I'll put this. I'm going to loop it. I'll put the message up. Back in a minute. Gotta let dog out. Oh, no. All right, hang on. All right. I was supposed to loop. It did not. Oh, yes, that was spectacular. I tell you what, two dumps, O'Neill and Bruce went poo and pee. Oh, thank God. Let's bring in Carl from Who Are These Podcasts. Have you ever had to take a break in your show?
I've ever had 2 minutes of dead air. No, I've never done that in my life.
Yeah.
That was shocking.
Yeah, that's. I had a audio music bed to play, and I put
heard
it on
some of it.
loop.
Yeah, I
And then
heard some of
it
it.
just stopped. It's supposed to loop, but it did not. So that's embarrassing.
Eric, when you book your guests, do you always give them 1 hour notice, or do you usually like reach out to them maybe days in advance? Give them a heads up? How does that work?
Here's how it went.
Yeah.
2 days ago, I went, I should invite Carl on so we can promote the show, but I know I thought to myself, but he's probably going to be working on it day of.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to screw you up. And then this morning, though, I rethought it and I went, screw him. He would be great on the show. So then I decided then. So that's how it worked.
So you could always ask, right? That's the whole point of asking. Hey, Carl, can you come on the show? I'm busy. I'm prepping for the show. You know,
I know. I didn't because I'm always afraid that if I ask someone, because this is how I would do it. And then even if it meant it like screwed me up, you're probably a little bit better than me and would be like, no, I can say no. I'm always afraid to say no to people. So I think that you would do the same thing, that you would do it and then compromise yourself. And I would feel bad about that.
Well, that's true. I don't say no to people. I've made that a rule in podcasting for myself. When people ask me to do stuff, I just do it. Which is probably a dumb idea, but
all right. Well, true to form, though, this has kind of been the way it's been. Usually day of, I'll say, hey, can you join me in 15 minutes?
Yep. Yeah, every time I've come on your show, it's been like that. Every single time I've been on the treadmill and you're like, hey, you want to hop on the show? I'm like, sure. Let me stop sweating for a minute. And I'll pop on.
Okay, Carl, your show has continued to grow. Who Are These Podcasts? And the Creep Off podcast with Vinny Paulino. We had a fun time doing that show. I'm trying to turn as many people onto that as well. That's a fun listen. It's only like an hour and 15 minutes at most.
Yeah, we try to keep those ones short. They've gotten longer. When you were on as a guest, you were fantastic.
Thank you.
And when we have guests on, they tend to run a little longer because what we do is we each present who we think is a creep in a certain category. So for you, it was radio personalities. And we said, okay, who's the creepiest radio personality? And Vinny brought in some ridiculous British guy that was never convicted of anything. So that was a terrible story. I brought in an amazing story that was compelling and interesting. And then Eric Zane just told some anecdotal whatever story.
Yeah, anecdotal, you say. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And then next thing you know, Eric Zane's winning the voting until I came in and stole it at the last minute because the Creep Off is interactive. People go on our website and they vote for whoever had the best creep that week or the biggest creep. And then there are consequences to it. I hear that you're going on with Vinny this Monday while I'm on vacation.
Yeah, you're taking some time off. So he invited me in. And so Vinny and I have started to hit it off a little bit. And so, yeah, I'll be on that show. We'll record on Monday and I'll direct everybody to check it out. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy how it does, how it moves. It's great.
So I'll let everybody know who's listening to the Eric Zane show that Eric's going to do the show on Monday. It'll be live on YouTube at noon. If you want to watch from the Creep Off channel, it'll also be a podcast later that day. You go on thecreepoff.com and you vote for either Eric Zane or Vinny Paulino. You don't have to listen to the show. You can just go out and vote. We're not going to test. We're not going to ask any questions to make sure you listen to the show. Now, what's cool about this is that if Vinny Paulino, my co-host, loses to Eric Zane, he has to do the polar plunge, which is a thing that we have here in Rochester, New York, where you jump into Lake Ontario in February. And Vinny's a heavyset guy. This might kill him. Yes. So I implore everyone to go and vote for Eric Zane.
Well, wait a minute here. Now, what's interesting is I said to him, I go, Vinny, how come, I don't have any consequences? And he goes, well, if you want to jump into the lake with me. And I'm like, but I said, I go, you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. The audience of your show wants you, a good portion of them want you to lose. So they're going to vote for me no matter what.
Correct. Yeah. Cause you did not bring it. And yet you got a lot of votes. So this is obviously just voting against myself and Vinny.
What do you mean I did not bring it? What is that supposed to mean?
You didn't have any clips. You barely did any prep. You just showed up, told a couple stories about a guy you interviewed once for a job. Like, all right, cool, whatever.
Oh, come on.
Listen for yourself, people. Tell me if I'm wrong.
All right. So today, you and I, who else is joining us tomorrow or today?
Well, this is very exciting. I was not expecting this, but the great Drew Lane will be joining us today.
Oh,
I
fuck yes.
did their show this week. I do a week every other week. I do an appearance on the Drew and Mike show, and they always say, "Oh, what's coming up this weekend, Carl? What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, well, this weekend's great. We're doing Dave and Chuck the Freak." And out of nowhere, because I've been trying to get Drew on the show for years now, and he's always like, "Yeah, Carl, I'll do it. One of these days. Out of nowhere, he goes, "I'll come on for that." It's like, wait, what? You will? So
Okay.
he's not going to be on right away. We're going to start off. You and me are going to go through. We're going to talk about Dave and Chuck the Freak. We're going to pull some clips. We're going to talk about what they're doing on their Riff morning show. And then Drew's going to pop on and give us some background and whatever inside information he has.
Okay, so Carl and I have not discussed what we've listened to, and we won't. And and I don't want to lead on in any way because we want this to be as true to what it's the spirit of the show. But I will say this: Drew was, of course, on the Riff before Dave and Chuck, and he doesn't really lead on to what happened ever. I mean, it's kind of left to the imagination, but I have theories that this was, I don't know. I think he's pissed off. I think he's always been pissed off, and I wouldn't blame him.
Oh, you mean losing the morning slot that he was doing really well in?
Yeah.
Very successful. Do you think he's upset about that?
Yes, in my opinion, from my perspective, the way I saw this unfold, because I was a fan of that show before anybody liked that show. Okay.
Oh, okay. You're one of those guys.
I go back to 1992 or thereabout when Drew showed up on the scene when he was with Zip playing music.
Okay.
That's how far back I go. And their show, not only was it number one in Detroit, but if you were to look at how they did in terms of audience percentage, it was like the highest rated show in the history of ratings.
You're talking about the Drew and Mike show.
Drew and Mike show.
Yeah.
So to be broomed in the way that his show was for the next thing, and I guess it worked, but I still fucking hate it. It was a real risk by whoever was in charge of the radio station at the time to do that, and I was disgusted. I'm always disgusted with the radio business in a lot of ways, but this in particular was terrible.
Well, I'll tell you, that's why I'm excited to have you on the show today, because we've been getting we get suggestions from people of what podcasts to go ahead and goof on, and right now we're in the middle of Jocktober. So this is a tradition from the Opie and Anthony show where during the month of October, we make fun of radio shows because they're usually in podcast form as well. So trust me, it all works. All right. So we've been getting recommendations to do Dave and Chuck the Freak ever since Drew Lane brought up Who Are These Podcasts a couple of years ago. I've been getting bombarded with this. So this is a long time coming, and I'm excited to have you, Eric Zane, with your unique perspective on it, rather than just one of my goofball friends who comes in and goes, "Oh, this is a stupid radio show, blah, blah, blah." You know, I think you're going to actually bring some knowledge and some insights that we wouldn't get from just local yokel that I usually do these shows with.
No, well, I'll tell you what, all those local yokels always do an amazing job. And I've always been very impressed with the perspective and the insight of people who are just radio listeners. And it's always been very good. So I think that they would have done a fine job. But
can you talk into the microphone? Do you ever do like this?
Is it hard to hear?
No, this is what your cane says. You go like this. You go, "Yeah, Carl, you know what's actually interesting about that? What I do with a radio show is it's right here. Just keep it right here."
I can't. I'm always moving. You're right. I gotta sit still.
Or do what I do and get an arm and then just like carry it around with you as you're getting your sweats thing going.
He has Carl has sent me messages in all caps before, and he's like, "Speak into the microphone, asshole." And I'm like, "Oh shit, sorry. I'm kind of an idiot."
I wasn't gonna say anything, but I can be on the way you're doing it today. I feel like you're doing it perfect.
Fuck. Damn it. Holy shit. Okay. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And what's interesting is one of the gentlemen on the Dave and Chuck the Freak show I know very well. His name, I used to work with Andy Green on that show.
You know what's funny? We'll get into this, but I was going on their website to figure out who everybody is.
Yeah.
And I know that Andy's not an important character on the show because there's no last name. Like the important people get the last name. Lisa's got her last name on there, and Dave and Chuck. And there's like, oh, and Andy's on here too. Like, okay, well, it's kind of.
Oh my God! I have a ton of material to give to talk about with you. I really like to get into it. I like to delve into it. It's almost like therapeutic for me.
Good.
And so it's almost like being a program director, giving the worst air check to a show in the history of air checks, which is when the program director sits in front of the radio people and says, "You're doing this all wrong. You got to do it this way. You got to do this." But Dave and Chuck are doing it all wrong.
Oh, good. All right. Well,
they are doing it all wrong, much to their success, which I cannot explain. So,
yeah, I will tell you that I've been listening to the Drew and Mike show this week, and Drew's been checking in anticipation for his appearance. And I've just been really enjoying him talking about what's wrong with the show. He's like, I don't want to get into it. And then he can't stop himself.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. Yeah, I'm surprised. I am honestly surprised that he would do that because Drew, I think, keeps it close to the vest. I don't think he's ever really let it fly how he feels. He's subtly thrown out jabs, but half the time I'm always like, dude, fucking kill him. Let it fly. Let him have it. He doesn't do that.
Shocked. I was shocked when he volunteered to come on the show because, like I said, I've been trying to get him on for a while, and I would have thought that if he would have come on, it would be someone he's not connected to in any way.
Dude, this is gonna be great. I'm excited about that. Opie. Are we gonna talk about Opie too?
Yeah, Opie had my buddy Dr. Steve on, so we got to talk about that.
Yeah. Now, if I listened to that, I'd probably pull the same clips as you. So I'm going to go on to another episode, see if I can pull something else out of that. But I listened to the episode. I was like, oh, no. And then there was something also spectacular that happened with Opie this week, too, that I don't want to reveal what it is. But it has never, ever happened before, if I'm understanding correctly. Is that right, Carl?
As far as I know, and I'll just go ahead and say it because we're teasing the episode. We want people to listen to it. Opie acknowledged our existence on Who Are These Podcasts? Now, this is many times people have put in comments because, he's reading the YouTube chat and stuff. They're like, hey, Carl from Who Are These Podcasts says blah, blah, blah. And they'll be like, I don't know who that is. I don't know what you're talking about. And, he always pretends he doesn't. He obviously knows who I am. I mean, I've been on with Jim Norton and Anthony Cumia and E-Rock and all the people he used to work with talking about it. He knows who I am. But anyway, so finally he says, well, Who Are These Podcasts? Those guys suck because they wouldn't be able to do what they do if it weren't for me. I started this whole thing, which is always a great, oh yeah, you think you could play rock and roll, Jimmy Page? Well, I started rock and roll. It's like, all right, well, how that works.
It's funny how you describe that. Whenever a person, that's their response. I always cringed when Howard said it for years. I've always, when a person has said, I invented something and sounds all whiny like that, I always get the impression of a really insecure, sad individual who's super hurt. And I'm always like, shut the fuck up. Just go do something new then. Oh my God. So that is, that's a terrible discussion to make. The fact of the matter is you're not doing it now.
Well, also, the person who invents something rarely is the best at it. Are we still driving Model Ts? I don't think so. I think the Tesla is a little bit more high tech and advanced than what Henry Ford was building 120 years ago.
Moving on, you must be very impressed with your Buffalo Bills. Congratulations on the start of the season.
Oh, the Buffalo Bills look amazing. I went to the home opener where they got beat by Pittsburgh, which we were all shaking our heads. What's going on? Now they're back in true form, beating the Chiefs in Kansas City. And also my Sabres last night out of nowhere, winning 5-1 in their home opener against the Indians.
That's remarkable considering that they're expected to do terribly this year.
Oh, they suck.
And but they get a win. The Red Wings. Did you see what happened to the Red Wings?
No, what happened to the Red Wings?
Okay, so I'll just cut to the end. With 6 minutes to go, they're up 6-3.
Wow.
Tampa scores 3 goals to tie it. They win in overtime.
Whoa, that's a meltdown right there. A 3-goal lead with 6 minutes to go. That should be pretty easy to hold out. I mean, Tampa's a good team. They can.
Yeah. They were up 4-1, but Larkin had a 5-minute major in the second period, and Stamkos put 2 in.
Yeah.
During the 5-minute major. So, and he got a match penalty. Larkin got kicked out of the game.
What did he do?
Well, he got checked from behind, and he didn't like that because that's how he got hurt last year. So he got up, and the guy was skating back around. He sucker punched him.
Nice.
So they gave him five in a match, and that was it. So, but that was very costly. So if you're the captain of the team, you just cost your team. Yeah, sure. The fans loved it, and you got some retribution, but 2 goals because and their best player is out of the game. So, I mean, take that for what it's worth.
So this is a typical start to a Red Wings season for the last few years.
The last few years. And then our Lions, how about the fact that this tough coach has already been reduced to tears? I actually feel terrible about this. That poor man, he's crying.
I have to tell you, that Lions game, I'm watching the end of that game because I had money on it. And the fact that the Lions lost made me $200. That was such an amazing, epic meltdown by the Lions. To go for 2 points, 37 seconds to go, ballsy call. They get it, and you're like, this coach wants to win this game.
Yes.
Couldn't hold on.
Oh, God.
It's 30 seconds. All they had to do. Just stop one pass from happening.
I don't even get mad. I don't even really say anything bad about them. I just go, oh, God. It's really, I mean, now that they've developed a new way of losing where they'll roar back. They'll be out of the game, and in no time, somehow, I mean, they're having great success in getting back with a chance to win the game, and then it always like, oh no, we did it again.
So being a Bills fan for the last 20 years, up until the last couple of years here, that's been the story of our lives too. So I totally get it. And it's funny because I do live vicariously through my friends in Detroit now. And so I will watch these Lions games pretty closely. And I've been through this, man. It's brutal. But then you get to a point where you're like, oh, I don't care if they win. I got to that point with the Bills. And because I remember very vividly, there was a Thursday night game. And I had to go to band practice, so I DVR'd it, and then I get home and I have to work in the morning, and I'm staying up late to watch this game and fast forwarding through the commercials, and the Bills just lay an egg in Miami, and I'm all pissed off, and I go, why do I care? Why do I care so much about this? Why is it affecting my life? And I just stopped caring after that.
It gets more fun when you stop caring, and then if they win, you're like, all right, I never really got off the bandwagon. I just stopped getting pissed off.
Correct. I stopped yelling at the TV for a few years, which was very good for me. And now I'm right back with it. Like, all right, we're going to the Super Bowl. Let's do it.
All right, Carl. So we will start recording at roughly 2 p.m. today. Is that the plan?
2 p.m. Yep.
So if you follow Who Are These Podcasts on Discord, you can catch it live while we're doing it.
Yeah, and you can get a link to our Discord. Anyone can do this. If you go to whoarethese.com on our About page, we have links to all the different things where you can find us. The Discord link, you can do it through your web browser. You can download the Discord app, and you click into a channel in there, and you can hear Eric and myself in real time talking about Dave and Chuck the Freak.
Yep. All right, man. I am stoked about it, and that's cool that Drew is doing that. That's a rare thing. I'm excited. This is a guy who, in the radio industry, you know this. I've talked to you about this off the podcast. I mean, if it hadn't been for a show like Drew, for the Drew and Mike show, I wouldn't have been able to kind of parlay. I took what they did, and it's like, I got to put my own spin on this. I really like it, and then that's what I wanted to do, a show like that. Huge influence on what I did in radio.
Much ass when Drew's actually on this show.
No. I don't want to say it then, but I'll say it to you now on my show that it was. Good. I mean, it's big. It's really, really big. I'm very, very grateful for that. So don't make fun of me. Fucking A.
I'm just telling you. I don't want a lot of ass kissing going on.
I'm not going to do any of that. I won't say shit about that.
No, honestly, Eric, I'll say this. I think one of the reasons why Drew's coming on is because I said I was doing the show with you, and he goes, "Oh, I'll come out and do that with you guys."
Oh, fun!
Great. So
that is cool. That is very, very cool.
I'm excited for it.
Okay, I'll talk to you in a little while.
Sounds good, buddy.
Okay, and by the way, thanks again. That's a good job you did in supporting Whitmer with all the vaccine stuff. You're doing an awesome job over there.
All right, thanks to all the Zaniacs. Tune in later today or check it out when I upload it this week on Who Are These Podcasts.
Yeah. See ya.
All right, see ya.
Get out of here. There you go. Carl from Who Are These Podcasts? He hates Whitmer. Dirk says, go Bills. Go Bills. Who's that, Marv Levy? Chris says, that's how Detroit teams roll. Damn it, Diana. Talk into the mic. Man, Carl's chirp game is strong today. Oh, yeah, he's got skills. John says, if Vinny Paulino dies when he jumps into Lake Erie, it will be the best podcast stunt ever. Eric is a creep. He stares at women in the gym bending over. Carl got an hour. I got 10 minutes last night. Kyle says, Carl, I love your poster. What was that poster of? All right. Sam writes, Zane, your banner where it says Eric Zane - still married is the best. You know, if we could go back 5 years, Greg and Chris would think there was a 100% chance you'd be the one to get divorced. So I can guarantee it. I can guarantee they would have thought I got divorced. But somehow I kept it together. Thank you. They actually helped me. There was a time in my life when things were not great, and they actually helped me through that. Too bad Greg's a fucking asshole now. Here's the thing. Greg used to talk so much shit about Bob and Tom getting divorced. He used to always throw that joke out all the time. That was his big go-to. Yeah, go get divorced or some shit like that. It's like, oh, no, dude. All right. Thank you to Carl from Who Are These Podcasts for joining me on the show. As I was wrapping up, or as I was starting, I was coming up here, and I had to go and take care of O'Neill. This dog, I mean, my God, he is so thankful. And thank you for telling me to go let him out. That was bad. He's like, oh, God, this is terrible. I do want to remind you that TC Paintball will be the place to be coming up on Sunday, 4 p.m. We are playing paintball again, and I want to hear from you. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. If you want to join us, we'll have about 20. I would like a little more, but not bad at all. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Pizza party beforehand from BC Pizza. So BC Pizza, TC Paintball. You pay $35. You get the paint, you get the gun, you get the mask, and then off you go. All right, stay right there. I got to let Daisy in. Do you have a pet or a dog that has a fear of missing out? Well, that's Daisy. She's right outside of the door going, woof, woof. Let me in. Losing weight, too, by the way. A little bit chunky. She was 53 pounds a couple of years ago. She's 70 right now, and we just can't have that. So we cut the food down from a cup to 3/4 cup a day, or 1 in the morning, 1 in the night. And it looks like no food in the bowl. And I'm like, God, I actually feel bad about this, but she's doing great. Losing weight. I think she's already down about 5-6 pounds. Okay. Enough of that. So again, join me for paintball. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Got an email, a couple of emails I want to share. Jason writes this, and he sent a picture along, and I think you'll be able to figure out what's happening here. This is a picture from his bathroom. He says he's channeling his NFK and my daughter, Jackie. You got a piece of pizza, looks like shit, by the way, on a plate in the bathroom with a bush light. Okay, what's going on here? I thought the same thing. He writes this. Came home from work. The wife had pizza ready for the football game tonight. Grabbed a slice and a bush beer, bush light, on my way to the shower. Loading the NFK bush beer shit howitzer and enjoying a slice on the John, a la the Princess of the Forest. Ha ha, sick fuck. Signed Zaniac Jason. So the guy's sitting on the toilet eating pizza. He brings up the NFK because that's what he drinks. He brings up my daughter because of the FaceTime conversation that I had with her. And the conversation starts out. I'm like, she's eating ice cream and it's just close in on her face. What do you do? I'm sitting on the toilet eating ice cream. I would love to send. I was completely disgusted. That's awful. And then I remembered that this happened to me. I actually did something very similar. I've told this story before, but it's worth telling again. Grand Rapids International Airport. Went and got a sub. Started to eat the sub. Walked into the bathroom. Standing at the urinal. Eating the sub. At that point, it did not even occur to me that there was anything gross going on. That shows you how screwed up I am. It wasn't until I was walking out of the bathroom at the airport and I overhear one lady say to another, "That guy came out of the bathroom eating." And I went, "Yeah, I guess that is pretty screwed up." Awful. So I can't say much. I mean, I haven't done it in a long time, but that's absolutely horrible. You can hang out with me coming up and puppy dogs. And you know that this is always something that's right up my alley. My friends at Harbor Humane here on the west side of the state in Michigan, there's an event coming up that I will be involved in called Halloween. Okay? So you can hang out with me coming up next Saturday, the 23rd, at a place called The Shops at West Shore. There's a parking lot there. That's where this is going on. 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. There's a dog costume contest, and I am the judge. That will be at about 4 p.m. So dress your dog up, okay, and go to this event. It's a fundraiser for Harbor Humane. I love those folks over there. So I'll be hanging out. I'll probably bring O'Neill for sure. Maybe Bruce. Now, Bruce would have to go. I would only bring O'Neill and Bruce. Those are the two that get along well with other dogs. Daisy would cause a fight and would kick every dog's ass, and it would be ugly. We can't have that. She actually bit O'Neill yesterday. The poor dude. He's got he knows that if I open up the back door and she's there first, he's not going to try to go out because she always tries to kick his ass. And I normally box her out like fucking Patrick Ewing, and then he can get out. But this time I did not. And he decides to make a break for it and goes out, and she chomps, and she actually caught him, and he goes, "Oh!" Poor guy. So she cannot go. Benny, I wouldn't dare bring out because he's scared of his own shadow. All right. She writes also, if this is something you and Diana would be interested in, we're still looking for folks to come with trunks. So show up with your car, load it up with candy, consider backing your car in up to the sidewalk and handing out candy from the back of the hatch. It's for the kids, obviously. Folks will be decorating their cars and trucks. I think we might have a contest to see who has the best decorations, and it's a dog-friendly event, so bring whoever you want. All right. So if you wanted to do that, and promo it on the podcast, you get to meet a ton of people. We are expecting a big crowd. And I mean, she says she wants me to bring the NFK. And I'm like, oh, boy. She wrote he could show up and call some people the N-word and scare some of the kids. JK. However, I do really want to meet him. NFK stories are always my favorite part of the podcast, she writes. Which, by the way, today, This microwave issue is rearing its ugly head again. I think this thing is about to die, and that's a bad thing. Because I got it working the other day when I unplugged the damn microwave, and he was shocked by my wizarding powers. And today it went south on him again. He goes, "Hey, the fucking thing shit fuck, it just fucking died again. How the fuck did you get it going?" I go, well, I reached up here and I unplugged it, which he's tiny. He's short. He's shorter than I am. And he can't move. So I go, so I got it working. He goes, okay, there it is. I go, well, I said to him, I go, but I don't want you getting up here on a chair and trying to unplug it because you're going to fall and bust your ass and die. And I'm going to have to clean up the mess. So don't do that. All right. He goes, well, look, if we got to replace the microwave, shit, fuck, man, I swear, I'll help you. I'll help you. I'll pay for it. Well, yeah, you're damn well you're going to pay for it because you broke it. You're the one who uses that thing so much. You've already destroyed the ice maker and the TV. Of course you're going to pay for it. The next thing is the toilet. Allison says she'll also be at tonight's Super Spreader hockey game. She says, as much as I would hate wearing a mask for 3 hours watching hockey, I'm a little freaked out that they're just like, fuck it, let's put 11,000 people in here. Vaccinations and masks, be damned, and see what happens. Yikes, much anxiety. I'm jealous of your plexiglass bubble. Signed, Allison. All right. I'm on Cameo. Hire me, cameo.com/Eric Zane. Always fun to do a Cameo. They're $15, $15.99 actually. Hire me on Cameo, cameo.com/Eric Zane, either on your desktop or through the Cameo app. If you are in the area of West Michigan, call or text Dumpster Divers if you need a dumpster. 616-375-9962. That's 616-375-9962. I reached out to Kyle yesterday after we got done with the podcast when he joined me. And I hired him. I said, yeah, man, bring that shit over. I need a dumpster. It's going to cost you less than any other dumpster company in and around West Michigan. And you're supporting a sponsor, 616-375-9962. And then while I'm at it, A&E Heating and Cooling, 616-516-8579. Joe Martinez needs to tune up your furnace. He's got a crew now. He's got 2 son-in-laws working for him. So that's awesome. It's when he started marketing on the podcast, it was just him. But you guys have really, really opened up your homes to him so that he's taking care of your furnaces and your air conditioners. Thank you. You need a tune-up. A&E Heating and Cooling, $79. 616-516-8579. Narrating a dog fight as we speak. I don't know if you can hear it, but they are playing. That is Daisy's pretty much the only dog she'll play with is Bruce. Now, if this gets out of hand, he's going to start to hump her. And so we'll have to keep that from happening. You guys, I know, will love that. So I know your fingers are crossed. Is there anything better than watching 2 dogs play, though? Seriously. French Bulldog, English Bulldog. All right. Let's get into Rogan v. Dr. Sanjay Gupta. Gupta with CNN. Rogan, you know the tail of the tape here. He recovered from COVID. He went with all that nonsense that he, quote unquote, threw the kitchen sink at it. And then everybody lost their mind. CNN said, he's taking horse medicine or something like that. And he's like, oh, fuck, should I sue them for lying? He brings it up with Dr. Sanjay Gupta. I actually liked his approach here.
So for you, Joe Rogan,
yes,
I would say you've had it.
Yes.
So now get 1 shot of the vaccine.
No.
Why not?
Because I have better immunity than I would if I was vaccinated.
Right?
Okay. Yes. If you have it, if you got it, you're protected more than the vaccine. However, if you had it and you get vaccinated, that's even more. That's proven. You are even more protected. Why would you not do that? He doesn't want to. He's a moron. All right.
I think your immunity is really good.
So why, if I've already gotten through COVID and I was really only sick for a day?
And I wish Gupta had the opportunity to explain that to this fucking numbskull, but he doesn't because they start talking about what CNN said. Okay.
Then 5 days later, I was negative. And I do have the natural antibodies now. Why would I take a chance in getting vaccinated on top of that?
By the way, I'm glad you're better. I'm
Thank
glad
you.
it only lasted a day.
You're probably the only one at CNN that's glad.
That's a deflection right there. I'm glad you're better. He's totally deflecting. He knows he's fucked here. Gupta is screwed.
No. We're not.
The rest of them are all lying about.
Hold on a second.
Have the natural antibodies now. Why would I take a chance in getting vaccinated on top of that?
By the way, I'm glad you're better. I'm
Thank
glad
you.
it only lasted a day.
You're probably the only one at CNN that's glad.
No. We're not.
The rest of them are all lying about me taking horse medication. And we should talk about that.
That bothered you.
It should bother you too. They're lying at your neck.
I would say this. I would go, what do you mean? Well, yeah, they said I took horse medicine. Well, what is the horse medicine called? Ivermectin. What did you get? Ivermectin. All right, well, then you took horse medicine.
About people taking human drugs versus drugs for veterinary.
Calling it a horse dewormer is not a flattering thing. I get that.
It's a lie. It's a lie on a news network, and it's a lie.
True or false? Ivermectin gets rid of worms in horses. True or false? You can only answer one. True. Well, then you took horse medicine.
That's a willing. That's a lie that they're conscious of. This is not a mistake.
I would have kicked his ass. Gupta is unarmed here in this fight. Rogan is easily defeated with brainiac-like wit that I would have indulged him with. But Gupta he can't handle it.
They're unfavorably framing it as veterinary medicine.
Well, the FDA put this thing out. You saw that. Did you see that thing that the FDA put out?
What did the FDA put out?
It was a tweet, and it was snarky. I admit it. They said, "You are not a horse. You are not a cow. Stop taking this stuff," or something like that.
Why would you say?
Yeah. There you go. Perfect.
When you're talking about a drug that's been given out to billions and billions of people.
For malaria and parasites and shit like that, not for fucking COVID, you stupid idiot.
That was responsible for one of the inventors of it winning the Nobel Prize in 2015.
Yeah.
A drug that has been shown to stop viral replication in vitro.
So horse medicine has another effect. When taken in small doses, it can help a lot of these impoverished people in third world countries. Great. That's awesome. Has nothing to do with COVID. And it is horse medicine.
Oh, you know that, right? Why would they lie and say that's horse dewormer? I can afford people medicine, motherfucker. This is ridiculous. It's just a lie.
I don't think anyone is.
But don't you think that a lie like that is dangerous on a news network when you know that they know that?
Oh, well, shit. You want to talk about dangerous? Telling the world to take ivermectin is dangerous, Joe Rogan.
Fine.
That's dangerous.
That they know that I took medicine. Like, here it is. This is ivermectin.
You got it with
right
you.
here. Somebody gave it to me.
Yeah. Right.
Hey,
that's what you'd give to a horse.
The thing is, we're like going so fast. Like I feel like I'm missing.
Do you think that's a problem that your news network lies?
Well, I don't.
Dude,
I mean, what did they say?
They lied
and
said I was taking horse dewormer. First of all, it was prescribed to me.
That's when you say, Gupta, don't fucking fold. Say, well, okay, does ivermectin help horses? Yes or no? And when he says yes, because he can only answer yes or no. When he says yes, I say, well, then wasn't a lie.
By a doctor?
Yeah.
Along
they
with
shouldn't have said
a
it was
bunch
horse.
of other medications.
If you got a human pill, because there were people that were taking it, the veterinary medication, and you're not, obviously. You got it from a doctor, so that it shouldn't be called that. Ivermectin can be a very effective medication for parasitic disease. And as you say, it's probably,
Yeah, fucking, would you fight him? Grow a fucking spine, Gupta.
250 million people have taken it around the world.
More,
I get that.
Way more.
So
way more. Billions of people have taken it.
Can I just come back to the one I want to talk about? Two things on
the
ledger.
You have, before we get to that, does it bother you that the news network you work for out and out lied, just outright lied about me taking horse dewormer?
They shouldn't have said that.
Why did they do that?
I don't know.
You didn't ask? You didn't think that was yours? You're the medical guy over there.
I didn't ask. I should have asked.
They did it with such glee.
No,
Joe.
I tell you what, Rogan has taken his time and just he knows that Gupta is not going to do anything to defend himself in any way, shape, or form. He's got him. He's killing him.
You watched?
I watched.
You watched? No, I don't think there's
yes,
glee.
they did.
No one takes.
Joe Rogan says he has COVID, taking livestock drug despite warnings. Yeah.
Jamie had to pull this up.
You want to
huh?
play it?
Does she?
Okay.
Does she
This
have
is your
Glee?
news network.
And the producer brings up the video where some talking head is saying exactly what he said.
Let's see.
I'm gonna watch.
Rogan telling his 13 million Instagram followers that he was treated with several drugs, and he included ivermectin on the list, a drug used for livestock. The FDA and the CDC warn against.
That's true. That is a true fact. You cannot dispute that. Ivermectin does do that. What the hell? Why is everybody making a big deal about this?
Using to treat COVID.
Turns out I got COVID.
Look at they put a
So
yellow
we
filter on
immediately
me
threw
too.
the kitchen sink at her. All
They
kinds
did.
of meds.
They showed the video from the Instagram when they made his face green, which is hysterical.
You see the
Clonal
original
antibodies,
video versus that? I look like shit there.
ivermectin, Z-Pack,
Do you know that?
I think you look good.
Pause. It's enough.
prednisone.
I don't
That's
think.
enough, Jimmy.
I don't
But
think Aaron had Glee.
oh well, it's more Brian Stelter was the gleeful one. But the point is, that's a lie.
It can be used for humans. I get it. I totally.
Not just could be used for humans.
Saying that ivermectin is a horse medicine is not a lie. It is. Prove me wrong.
Often used for humans, along
It's
with
both.
all the other drugs I took. All human drugs.
And one thing is for damn sure. It's not for COVID. It has nothing to do with COVID.
Yes,
They know it's a human drug,
it's right. But
and they lied.
the thing,
It's defamatory.
it is. Yeah, they shouldn't have done that.
It's defamatory, right?
Well, I don't know if it's defamatory.
I
Yeah.
bet it is.
Gupta is getting bullied.
Lawyer. I'm not a lawyer.
It's
But-
a lie.
Well, see, here's the thing. You can have nuanced discussions about this,
No,
right?
you can't.
Yeah, you
You
can.
can't have nuanced discussions about lying about someone taking horseshoe
There
worm.
was
Gupta is not has no business being in this discussion. He's being annihilated. All right. Shit. I keep
so
resetting the damn thing. Shit. Hang on.
this,
Oh, yes, they do.
they don't want you to get
stop it.
sick, Joe.
Yes.
Anyone takes people's illness.
Oh, yes, they do.
They don't want you to get
stop it.
sick, Joe.
Yes, they do.
They
were
want you to get
upset that
sick.
I got healthy.
Hold on a second. Bruce is humping Daisy. Knock it off! A lot of firsts on the show today. Silence. Bruce humping Daisy. Has that been going on behind me?
That's one thing they didn't report on. The fact that I was negative 5 days later and working out 6 days later.
Well,
6 days after infection, I was back in the gym.
I'm glad.
Felt great.
I'm glad you do. I really
Me
am.
too.
I think
Thank you.
Most of the
I'm
people.
glad you're glad. You're a nice guy.
Most of the people I know, I think, would be glad that you. I don't think that there was any.
There's a lot of people out there that weren't glad. But my point is, you're working for a news organization. If they're lying about a comedian,
I don't think they
taking
lied.
horse medication.
What
are they telling us about
lie?
Russia? What are they telling us about Syria?
Oh, now
Do you
he's doing
you
this
understand that
leap.
that's why people get concerned about the veracity of the news?
All I'm concerned with is the one-sided affair against a guy who got blindsided, did Sanjay Gupta by Joe Rogan with this attack. He's nervous. He's upset. Gupta doesn't know what the fuck to say. And he's and this very skilled interviewer has dismantled him and got him to say what he wants to say. And basically, it's shocking how one-sided that is. Actually, it's not, because Gupta isn't prepared for that. He's getting him to admit that they lied.
Was look, just the nuanced part of this, and you're not taking a horse dewormer. I get it. You got that as a legitimate medication from a pharmacist.
It is a horse
That's kind of a
dewormer.
joke, my friend Megan brought.
What the fuck? I don't get it. Well, all right. So now the whole world is losing their minds, saying, Joe Rogan, he proved the truth. Oh, yeah, he got him to admit this. That. Yeah, he was talking to a pussy is what it was. That's what that was. That's why it was that. That's why it went the way it did. He knew exactly what he was doing. That's why he got him on the show for that moment there. And that's the only thing anyone is going to talk about now. And all you dumbasses are going to bite right hard on that and say, see? Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, of course. Corey says he's a doctor. He's not trained in how to debate. Absolutely. It was like an adult and a child there. Boomer Bob says CNN should have prepared a promoter for Gupta. But all right. So Rogan is playing up this whole business that his horse dewormer that he takes is some type of wonder drug, and buying into that whole stupid mindset when it doesn't do anything. Okay. And then he talks about it's dangerous. It's dangerous for CNN. This guy is as dangerous as CNN. He's just as bad for promoting his kitchen sink drug cocktail, whatever the fuck it was. Rogan doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's admitted it before that he's a moron. He's a fucking cage fighter, whatever he is, a jiu-jitsu guy that happens to have a microphone. He didn't know shit. I trust doctors. Real doctors. Not fucking quack doctors who give horse dewormer like he got. Unbelievable. Whee! Hey, let me help your business. Go to, check me out here at eric@ericzaneshow.com. Drop me a line if you want in on being a marketing plan on the show. eric@ericzaneshow.com. I can help you out, put you in front of thousands of people each and every day right here on the podcast. Excuse me. Like Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. 616-532-6600. Reach out to them. They are a West Michigan auto repair business that wants your business. Trusted source for getting work done. Anything at all to keep your car on the road. Preventative maintenance. Something goes wrong. You got a friend. You got a friend in me at Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. 616-532-6600. I got a mortgage guy, 231-332-6505. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anywhere in the U.S. with the exception of South Carolina, Maine, Hawaii, and Alaska, if you need a mortgage, you got a guy. Mario and his team at the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. 231-332-6505. And then, of course, the managed IT service provider for this show, Blue Frost IT. If anything goes south with your tech, reach out to Blue Frost IT. 616-200-8550. 616-200-8550 for Blue Frost IT. Batting cleanup. Okay. Boomer Bob says, quote, I trust the system. Signed, Eric Zane. Dirk says, you trust propaganda. Referring to Rogan, yet he's alive and healthy. Sam writes, if this was 1915, Zane would be telling us we're stupid for not giving our babies cocaine syrup for a cough. What the fuck are you talking about? Or taking heroin for headaches, because that's what doctors say to do. Mm-hmm. Dirk writes, Corey, you, quote, trust the science while championing shutting down of studying all science, which tests off-label brands to find cures. What do you think of that, Corey? And then Reginald writes, the medical expertise to talking ratio way out of whack in these comments in the chat. The asshole of the day could be Bruce for humping Daisy. Maybe an honorable mention. Brought to you by TC Paintball. I want to see you at Paintball on Sunday. TCPaintballGR.com if you want to book a party. And JM Synthetics online at jmsynthetics.com. It's Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is the asshole of the day. You're like, why? Well, because he is. Quit telling me you didn't take ivermectin. There you go. Congratulations. Thank you to everybody who pointed out the Rogan and Gupta clip. It was great. He did a hell of a job bullying that poor man. My God. Okay. I will talk to you folks on the Patreon a little bit later on. Till then, have a great one.